The Aryan invasion theory, contradictions and affirmations. The Aryan invasion or migration theory in a nutshell says that a horse-riding fair-skinned race called the Aryans, probably from the Central Asia, invaded India and drove the Dravidians, who were original inhabitants of the Indus Valley civilizations, to the far southern part of the subcontinent. The Aryans, who brought a primitive version of Sanskrit with them, demolished the Indus Valley civilization, which was already struggling due to change of course of various rivers, and established the Vedic civilization. According to the popular timeline, Aryan invasions were believed to be started after 2000 BCE, after war chariots were invented. Indus Valley civilization declined at 1900 BC and the Vedic civilization started at around 1500 BC. The school of thought is equally liked and trusted by a people. In this article, I would like to put forward the arguments from both sides and then opinionate on the matter. While researching for the article, I found some contradictions to the theory which I can connect on a deeply emotional level. Number one, I have grown up hearing stories from Ramayana and Mahabharata. Just by hearing the descriptions of the epics, I have always believed that these events happened thousands of years ago. Ramayana around 700 BC and Mahabharata around 5000 BC. But according to the Aryan invasion theory, the Great War of Mahabharata happened at around 950 BC. For me, that's so recent. But there is no proof available that could cement the claims of Mahabharata occurring at 5000 BC. Until an 36-meter underwater expedition was done by marine scientists of National Institute of Ocean Technology at the Gulf of Cambay near Gujarat, which revealed the remains of a long-lost city in that area. The area under consideration matches the exact location of the city of Dwarka, ruled by Krishna. In the Mahabharata, it is written that after the Great War, Krishna returned to his kingdom Dwarka, which was surrounded by sea by all sides. After years of peace, the city was engulfed by the rising sea water, and since then, no one found that glittering city. Wooden samples found on that underwater site was established to be around 7,500 years old using C14 dating method. This year matches the Puranic belief that Mahabharata happened at around 5000 BC. Still, many scientists argue that it is common to find such wood samples in Arabian Sea, which 20,000 years ago was 100 meters lower than its current level. But what about the man-made rock or stone structures? How did those ended up there? Number 2, Ramayana, according to Mahabharata, predated later. Therefore, there is no way Ramayana occurred after 1500. Again, this timeline is challenged by a shocking revelation by NASA's Gemini 11, which revealed a picture of a seemed-to-be man-made structure connecting the southern tip of India to Sri Lanka. They named it the Adam's Bridge. But the people who have read the Ramayana might be getting goosebumps now. According to Ramayana, the king of Lanka kidnapped Ram's wife Sita and forcefully took her to Lanka, which was beyond the oceans. Ram forced an alliance with an army of Vanaras and went to the southernmost tip of India. There, they made a huge bridge that connected India and Sri Lanka, through which Ram's army marched into Lanka. This bridge in India has been popularly known as Ram Setu. The scientists found out that the structure was visible from satellite images was made of sandstone. They made around 10 boreholes in the structure, which revealed that the top 1.5 to 4 meter depth marine sand was present, followed by the next 1.5 to 2.5 meter boulders of calcium, sandstone and coral again, followed by marine sand to various depths and at continuous compact formation. It is well-known fact that the coral reefs can only form in clean and unpolluted water, and this being marine organisms required firm and compact formation as foundation. The presence of loose marine sand below this clearly indicates that this could not have naturally appeared there and someone might have dumped them there. According to researchers from the Anna University and the Madras University, which conducted an one-of-a-kind study with samples taken from the drilled core surface, revealed that the structure might be 18,400 years old, which is mind-blowing. Number 3. Another interesting fact is the case with Saraswati River. The modern historians used to call this a mythical river which does not exist, but the recent studies have confirmed the occurrence of such rivers in ancient times. Studies confirm that the river had its flourishing phase around 9,000 years ago, which declined 4,600 to 3,900 years ago. The Rig Veda mentions the Saraswati as Nadinam Asurya, loosely translating to most powerful among the rivers. It was known as the first-ranking, purest, fast-flowing, ocean-like river that ran from mountains to the oceans, which clearly signifies it was its perennial phase. This is a clear evidence that a Vedic civilization was much older than that claimed by the Aryan invasion theory. In Mahabharata, says Vasishtha praised river Saraswati as, "Goddess, you reach the sky and provide the clouds with water. You are omnipresent in water everywhere in land." It clearly suggests that during Mahabharata, the Saraswati river was already dried up. All this could never be mere coincidence. Number 4. According to the theory, horse chariots were not indigenous to India. It was brought by the Aryan invaders in India at around 1900 BC. Ramayana and especially Mahabharata is incomplete without the mention of war chariots. All the great warriors used to ride on those chariots in these epics. And this is one of the major facts that made historians believe that the events of Ramayana and Mahabharata occurred after the Aryan invasion. But in 2018, in an excavation site in western UP called Sinauli, which seems like a late Harappan village, a funereal site was found which belonged to a female warrior. It had weapons like bows and swords resting beside her. However, the most astonishing fact was a horse-drawn war chariot was also found in that burial. That signifies that the war chariots was a thing even in Harappan civilization, and that's a major blow to the Aryan invasion theory. The contradictions to the theory does make a lot of sense. So does the arguments for the theory, as these are based on genetic studies. When the maternal DNA in India was studied, it showed that there was no major gene flow from outside India in the last 12,500 years. However, when the Y DNA was studied, a major gene flow from outside India was noticed happening around 4,000 to 4,500 years ago that contribute to about 17.5% of today's Indian male lineage, fits perfectly with the theory. The reason for no variation in maternal DNA might be due to the reason that those days migrations were done only by males. Points from both the sides make sense. But while searching for the topic, I came across articles that were at times absolutely biased. Such biased articles can be found both for and against the theory. So in this era of internet, if you have a little bias inside you, the search engine's algorithm can magnify it to a huge extent by recommending the articles or videos that will fit your preconceived notion. We all should be very careful regarding that. It's absolutely important to look at both the sides of the coin. While reading the article, you as a reader might have got the idea that I have a bit prejudice against the theory. through this article, I wholeheartedly wanted to debunk this theory, but alas, there is not enough evidence till date to either confirm or deny this theory. The earlier 4 points in the article that contradict the article sometimes does not fit in the time frame that these points establish themselves. There is a need for more expedition to find more evidences about the epics. Also, the genetic study of Y chromosome reported only 17.5% DNA. The vast majority of Indians owe their ancestry mostly to people from other migrations, starting with the original out-of-Africa migrations of around 55,000 to 65,000 years ago, or the farming-related migrations from the West Asia that occurred in multiple waves after 10,000 BC. Why is this theory so significant? The theory was pushed on to the Indians by the Britishers. They are very pro-Aryan invasion believers as it suited their colonial narrative. By making Indians believe half of the citizens are Aryans and are from outside this subcontinent, they divided the nation, which made it easier for them to rule. They were racist, and hence they told the fair-skinned people of Aryans that they were one of them, somehow convincing them to treat the fellow Indians poorly. Well, we fell for the trick a century ago, but today, when extremely left-leaning theorists suggest this theory is 100% correct, or an extremely right-leaning theorist, the theory being 100% wrong, we are much better equipped with knowledge and intellect to read, learn, and decide for ourselves. This is because the way to development is forward, not sideways. I do believe in coming years, advanced archaeological and genetic studies would be helpful in better understanding of dating the occurrence of our epics, also simultaneously revealing us who we exactly are and what is the interesting history our nation have witnessed over several thousand years of being the most ancient civilization of the world. But one thing no study can change is that we, the people of India, have all mingled and contributed to this civilization we call Indian. Namaskar. Hope you have enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment and share the video. The video is scripted by Arindam Dev. I am Pritisha Padgiri signing off from the Organic Thoughts.